At first, Dunkirk looks smaller than Christopher Nolan's other works. It is shorter, quieter, with fewer dialogues and almost no traditional character backstory. But that is exactly why the film is so powerful. The story is placing us inside a moment where survival becomes the only question. The soldiers are trapped on the beach. England is visible across the sea, but it feels impossible to reach. Home is close, but not accessible. And that creates the central tension of the film. How do you remain human when all you can is struggle to survive? Nolan makes the soldiers almost anonymous. We barely know their names. That matters because military conflicts can destroy identity. It can turn a human being into just one more body in a line, one more man waiting for a ship, one more life that may disappear. The beach becomes almost a visual purgatory. Rows of men waiting, the sea in front of them, the enemy behind them, little dialogue, constant tension, no easy escape. Under that pressure, the film shows two possible responses. One is fear turned into selfishness. Harris Styles' character, for example, wants to survive at any cost. When he discovers that Gibson is French, he begins to treat him as disposable. Gibson helped them, saved them, stayed loyal, but when survival becomes difficult, Alex's solidarity becomes selective. He sees only himself. In moments of fear, the enemy is not only outside, it can also be our own egoism. But Dunkirk gives another answer. Mr. Dawson and the civilian boats are ordinary people who leave the comfort of home, take small private boats, cross the sea, and risk their lives to rescue soldiers they do not even know. That is the miracle of Dunkirk. Not magic, spectacle, or one great superhero saving everyone, but a collective miracle made of ordinary people choosing sacrifice. Mr. Dawson has already lost a son to the war. He has every reason to stay home, protect what remains, and avoid more pain. But he goes anyway. George, the young boy who joins him, also shows goodwill. He loses his life because he went to help, but leaves this world knowing he did something meaningful. His life becomes part of something greater than himself. And Farrier, the pilot, completes this same idea from above. He knows he may not have enough fuel to return. But he keeps flying. One more enemy plane. One more group of soldiers saved. One more act of service. He gives everything he has until the very end. True heroism in Dunkirk is doing what you can, with what you have, for the good of others. That is why survival in this film is not cowardice. Sometimes surviving is enough. Sometimes staying alive means you can fight another day. But it only becomes noble when it is not closed in on itself. That is why the sea changes meaning by the end. At first, it brings cold bodies, fear, and isolation. But later, it brings hope. The little boats arrive like a tide of mercy. And suddenly, the men who thought they had been abandoned realize they were not alone. This is why Dunkirk is about a miracle of solidarity. A reminder that even in war, even in fear, even when everything seems lost, human beings can still choose to leave themselves behind and serve. The same happens with us. We are not trapped on a beach in wartime. But every day, there are people around us who feel abandoned, isolated, forgotten, or afraid. And Dunkirk reminds us that we do not need to save the whole world, but we can take our small boat, cross the sea in front of us, and help the person placed before you. Because sometimes the miracle is not that suffering disappears, but that love motivates people to help one another.